Hi, and welcome to the presentation for the 24-25 junior program from the Adelaide Cricket Club. Okay, I'm going to start off with the philosophy of the junior program. As you can see, the junior program is a key part of the ACC men's cricket program. So we're not a juniors and seniors separated program, it's one program. And that goes to some of the concepts that we try to embrace. So we look at a whole of cricket education. We're looking for long-term development of high-level senior players. We're aspiring to develop national players. And it really is about the integrating juniors into seniors at a later time. So as far as the organising of the teams and the squad goes, as most would be aware, there has been significant change in juniors this year. But our team sizes and squad sizes have been developed to maximise player availability. We are trying to minimise rostering off. The model does, however, require commitment from players, and particularly those players at the 15.5 and the 14 level, where we do have quite small squads. So the players are expected to train. We're expecting people to be available every week, and the training is a vital component of the overall program that we're offering. So it's not just about turning up on a match day and playing a game of cricket. And just on that, and I'll talk about that a bit later, but it's important to understand there's a big difference for us between the training or the development component, which there's a lot of instruction and direction to the players, and match day, where we really do try to limit those instructions and limit that direction to allow the players to play the game and experience the game, because the best form of learning is for the young lads to actually experience the match. Okay, as we can see here, this is the structure of the men's program. So headed up by head coach Stephen Crook. Crookie responsible for overall coaching methodologies and particularly the first grade squad. Comes with a lot of experience, particularly in relation to playing in England in the county system. Many of you would be familiar with Jeremy Appleton. So Jeremy is responsible for essentially the development and the pathways between the junior program and into the senior program. So he also has responsibility for the white ball under 17 and under 18 shield, as well as working with myself in relation to juniors. And then that leaves my role. My name Wayne Hutchinson, and obviously my responsibility is in relation to the junior program, which we define as 13s, 14s, and 15.5 squads. So my role is essentially ensuring that we have appropriate coaching, match day coaching, and I'm also responsible for things like batting orders, bowling priorities, and match day tactics that I work with the various match day coaches on. And we can see here that the match day program for this year has Shane Maroon as our match day coach for under 13s, Gibran Bridgmahan as our match day coach for the 14s, and John Taglianti as the match day coach for the under 15.5s. Along with Wade Farrell, who is undertaking the Junior Buffs program this year, and then we're working with myself. And then I, of course, working with Jeremy in relation to pathways and the kids at the particularly the 15.5 end, moving into 17s, etc. Right. For this season, our grounds and where we'll be playing will be, I'll start with the training venue. So we predominantly train at Glendor Oval. So we have nets and a centre wicket. The teams will train on turf unless the weather doesn't allow for it. And some of the early season sessions will be on the hard wicket nets, but we have availability of both. And we're also fortunate enough to have pretty much a centre wicket every week for utilisation. So that provides for additional sort of training practices and things for the players. We also have Select Adelaide Oval indoor sessions, and that is essentially for pre-season training. The under 13s will be playing this year at West Beach. So that has been typically a ground that we've been utilising for the fourth grade, third grade, fourth grade, and some of the juniors, and the 13s will play on West Beach. The 15.5s and the 14s will share Park 23 in the city. So that's on West Terrace, and they'll play sort of week around. So when one's at home, one's away. Player development. Okay, so this is how I guess the Adelaide Cricket Club sees our player development. So we see the Adelaide Cricket Club program is a pathway into the SACA elite system and state representation. So that's one of the focuses that we have. We have a multi-year development philosophy, and it's tapered as players move up the age groups. So the under 13s and the junior buffs, it's essentially prioritising participation and with a development focus. So you'll see more rotations, you'll see more players moving around, and that's deliberate to allow the kids to develop the base skills that we need as they move through. As they move into 14s and 15 and a halves, the squads reduce in size, and we focus on primary skill sets. And we're looking to move more into the high performance environment that will then lead them into under 17s and Premier Cricket at the senior level. It's really important for us to embed the concept of team, and particularly team in a high performance environment. You'll hear a lot about me saying, talking about players to play their role, and understanding in certain games there's certain things that we would like players to do, that will help the team overall. We want to learn each phase of the game, so that's another component. There's a long form, and I'll speak more about T20 later on, but there will be different focuses at different times depending on the type of cricket that we're playing. And that again is recognising that cricket is not just a one size fits all game. It's not just a long form red ball game anymore. We need to embrace all concepts. We prioritise our in-squad players so long as they meet their responsibilities. And that's probably more of a longer-term concept to note. We do give priority to players within our squad for following years to give that continuity, but also recognising that players develop as the seasons go on, not necessarily just in one season. And again, I made that point that training is as important as the games, and we're certainly making every effort to embrace the most contemporary Cricket Australia thinking. We have a number of coaches having gone through recent coaching training, and that's certainly a large component of what we do. So you will see some different things that traditionally you may see on a cricket training. It's not just a nets-based training session. And if it is nets-based, it's got different focuses. And I think it's really important, there's a dot point down the bottom there around the fact that 70% of our current senior squad have come through our junior pathway, and that is an absolute commitment that we were trying to develop longer term players for the Adelaide Cricket Club. All right, these are some of the things you'll see in that player development context, and this will depend on the age group and and where the players are actually at. There's a really important component here, and that is we don't want to micromanage the players, particularly in game and during game experience. So it's really important that we let the coaches coach, let the players play, and let them play the game at the time that they're playing it. The coaching and the direction and instructions comes outside of that. There'll be a number of tools that I plan to use this year. So, and certainly as they move up the grade, so I'm looking to use some player surveys a bit more. We will be using more videos, and we're hoping, we're looking at using the frog box system in the net setup this year. Certainly the 14s and 15 and a halves will be encouraged to use bowling diaries for the bowlers to ensure we understand what their bowling workloads are. Really keen for non-selected players to contribute. So if a player is rostered off or can't play, then we'll be looking for them to assist on match day, things like scoring, but there's other functions that we'll get them to do. And like I indicated before, Frogbox that's selected. So Frogbox is the video recording model. So we'll have that at Park 23 for selected games this year to assist with player development and coaching, but also training as well. A few other bits and pieces just to note, and that is that I really like everyone to download the Cricket Australia Coach app, which Rick will have sent out at some point of time a link to that, and that's really important because we use the tools on there, we use some of the information on there during the season. It's good to have. And the Adelaide Cricket Club Code of Conduct, again, a really important thing. We don't just play the game to win. We don't just play to be better cricketers. We also play the game to play in the right spirit and uphold the right spirit of the game, and the code of conduct goes a long way to that. All right, so that's the end of the presentation in relation to this season. If there are any other questions or queries, they can be directed to Rick as the junior coordinator of the Adelaide Cricket Club. Thank you.